Everybody, it's Bari. So happy to be with you this evening. Wow. Wow. I have a really great topic for you tonight. A topic that people are always asking me about. And so I hope you're really excited. Okay, so as people join, let's just get things aligned here so I can see your comments. And if you're here and actually if you're watching the recording, I would love to know your thoughts on it after the fact. Okay, so in our world, we have a belief that you can have it the way you want it, that everything works out for me and I always win. And this is a topic that's really an important one when we think about contemplating getting support in finding love. So here's the topic. Have you ever asked yourself, oh, should I hire a matchmaker? Should I outsource love? How many of you have ever asked yourself that question? Now, I know when I was struggling in dating, I definitely often considered that option. Here's the thing, though. People then come to me when it didn't work and they still don't have a beloved, and they complain that they invested and it just didn't work out and they were left feeling really disappointed. Okay, they hoped that hiring a matchmaker would be kind of like going on Amazon and just placing the order. But unfortunately, it often doesn't work that way. And I'm sure many of you can relate to that. They invested often with very high hopes, and often they invested in a very high ticket situation. I'll share with you in a few minutes, but I had a client that invested $100,000 for a celebrity matchmaker, only to be really disappointed in the outcome. Okay. So what happens? What happens in this situation when people hire matchmakers or try to outsource? Well, very often it just doesn't work out. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I've heard, oh, so many stories over the past 15 years. Oh, which leads me to what I want to tell you about me. For those of you who are new in our community, and I know there are many of you, I want to welcome you. I'm Bari Lyman, and I'm the creator of Meet to Marry, Get Unstuck in Love. So when you hear marry, I don't want any of you to freak out. Many of you have maybe negative connotations about marriage. You know what this is about? This is about getting unstuck in love and having love work for you the way you really want it, the way you really need it. And over the past 15 years, I've been helping high achievers to create effectiveness in creating sweet love, healthy love that grows over time. Um, what is a high achiever? We talked about that last week. A high achiever is someone who enjoys strategy, a plan. And in our plan, we remove the unconscious and conscious dating and relationship patterns so that you can have a true life partner, soulmate to share your life with. Okay. So I have a lot of experience. I myself was stuck for many years making poor choices, trying to make something happen. But as you're going to learn tonight, I was not prepared. But ultimately, I got prepared and I learned what needed to be learned and handled in order to find healthy, growing lifetime love. Okay. So now back to what we were talking about is so often people tell me, oh, I hired a matchmaker and I didn't get many matches. And the ones I did get didn't make much sense. And we'll talk about why a woman that is very athletic, runs marathons, super active, she got matched with someone who is basically a couch potato. And you say to yourself, how could that possibly happen when I've invested in someone who's, supposedly experienced? Other stories are about, oh, redheads get redheads, and uh, smart people get smart people, or tall people get tall people. Like, this is really what goes on. And then often, maybe you guys have tried this, is that you ask your friends, will you fix me up? Do you have any ideas? And what happens? Nothing. Crickets. We don't get matches. And you're wondering, like, why does that happen? That's what we're going to talk about. So you feel like if you ask, it will just happen. If you invest, it will happen. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Okay. And I understand that you might want to outsource because it may be, it feels like the logical thing to do. But I want to talk first about why matchmakers very often. Now, I'm not knocking matchmakers across the board, just like I don't knock therapists across the board. I'm talking about a pragmatic approach to really looking at what works and what doesn't work and why, so that you can make a really healthy, rational, logical choice about your love life. Okay. So the first reason matchmakers and often fix-ups do not work, or you don't get them, is because we have, as human beings, hidden subconscious barriers to love. Okay, I'll say it again. We have barriers, inner barriers to love. Where does that come from? From past conditioning. Because we've been hurt, what we saw in childhood, how our father related to our mothers, all kinds of reasons. And then we made poor choices. We got hurt in the past. And if we've been hurt in the past, that keeps us from being aligned with receiving love. So it's an energy thing, okay? So if we had past disappointments and trauma, and if you're human, you have, right? We all have, then we have a certain understanding of love, of men, of women, right? So these are blind spots, right? That we are, let's, in simple terms, we are blocked. Okay. So truth is, pragmatic here, we often don't know ourselves in the way we need to know ourselves in order to recognize and receive love. Okay. So if there is fear, if there is unresolved trauma, that you're not even aware of because it happened so many years ago. You'll say, oh, I got divorced so long ago. That's not me. But the truth is, if you're human, we have these blind spots. So if you have fear or you don't trust men, for example, and there are these kind of energetic walls up, but you're like, oh, I'll give it a try. Well, then there is absolutely no chance that a matchmaker could send you really good matches. Why? Because you're not really available in the way you need to be available. Okay. And then you don't really know yourself and in the way that you need to be in order to be ready. Does that make sense? So this is not a conversation about good or bad or wrong or shame. It's a pragmatic conversation that if we're blocked energetically and even practically and really don't trust, and we think, oh, a matchmaker is going to be able to send us great matches, well, we're in for a big surprise. Because truth is, guys, you can't fake energy. Energy is either flowing and congruent, or it's not. Okay. So so even if you're well intentioned, even if you're a really good person, and if you're here I know that you're a well-intentioned, really good person, right? Who's a creator of many things in your life, but well-intentioned, good. If the energy is blocked and you don't really have that understanding, it really won't matter. And you cannot fake it until you make it. Okay. So that is why the matches that come are typically uh, a reflection of uh, not understanding what we really need and a blockage. So I really invite you to look at it that way. I want you to look at it like, oh, okay, right? Like I'm not like ready or prepared, and there are things that need to happen first. Okay. So to be ready, it's about being in alignment. It's about being in congruence for receiving. Okay. And we would have to get those things handled first, because I want you to know that finding a spouse, a life mate, a life partner is definitely not a superficial thing. And it's not based on interest. Ooh, she likes tennis. Oh, he likes tennis. Let's put them together. It just doesn't make sense. As a matter of fact, what you'll learn being in my world is that these things don't matter. Interests really don't matter. They really don't. It's really about knowing who you are, knowing your true emotional needs, getting in alignment with core values, vision, and goals. Right? It's not just pull these people together. That's why people can go to a matchmaker. It's just lunch, and or ask friends, and the friends already know you have enrolled them in your blind spots. I enrolled my friends in that I was always going to have an emotionally unavailable guy around, right? He'd be handsome, he'd be charming, but he wouldn't be a lifetime love. And so we have to kind of realign, rejigger our attraction magnetism, shall we say, okay? And to understand what really goes into the building of a conscious relationship. Okay, so I want to share a story of Lisa. Lisa lived in a big city, and she did invest with a celebrity matchmaker. She's a doctor. She had means, but of course, no one wants to waste money, waste resources on things that are not going to be fruitful, right? That would be silly. So what she found was very few matches. The matches she found were uninspiring. Like, does this woman even know anything about me? And the truth is, no. And that's why she got few matches. The ones she met were like, wrong about values. She values certain cultural things and ways of living, travel, uh, right? The world view, how we see the world is so important, that we are with someone and marry someone that sees the world the way we do. Okay, so there's a lot that goes into it. So what did we do? How did she, as a strategic thinker, solve the problem? Well, one, we removed the hidden subconscious barriers to love. Simple, right? Simple, not easy, but practical. What are these subconscious blocks? Again, trauma from the past, understanding of men, removing the barriers from our hurt in the past, incompletions. All these things get in our way and really do block us from love. So once we did those things and we gave her new language, we opened her heart, we raised her heart resonance to receive, right? And she just opened up. And then we gave her a plan to find the right man. And in fact, she did. And that's the beauty of the story. She found great, sweet, aligned love. And you can too. right? Like I shared in our newsletter this week, we all want to have our you had me at hello moment, and you definitely have. You can. You can. Number two, many matchmakers, here's why it doesn't work. That's what we're talking about. Many matchmakers don't work strategically, and they're not focused on the right things. And many people helping singles don't even have conscious love themselves. Okay. So many matchmakers, God love them, operate on intuition. They'll be good together. I just know it. Surface, things like that. And what they're looking for to build conscious relationships is just wrong, right? Again, I shared a moment ago. She's blonde, tall, and smart. He's tall, educated, went to Harvard, right? And these matches, they don't work because you already know you could have a list and you can meet people that have these checklist things, but they're not emotionally available. Okay. And also, I have heard experts say to people or people that are supposed to be kind and empathetic, tell singles like women, oh, you really need to lose some weight if you want to get a good man. Has anyone ever heard things like that? Oh my gosh. It's terrible. It's mean. It's awful. Why? Because you don't need to lose weight to find good love. Your soulmate will love you just the way you are. Everyone has different preferences. Not everyone, we think, oh, you need to be a skinny model to find love. Like, that's ridiculous. To find love, you need to be you, and you need to be connected to you. That's what's most important. Okay. And often they're working with many clients at a time. They can't really make any promises. And often, sometimes there are matchmakers that don't even work with pictures. Like they'll set something up and you will not have seen a picture of someone. That is insane. That I think is such a big waste of time because attraction is so damn important. I teach my clients, if you're not attracted, there is it's a done deal. It's not about, oh, I'll get more attracted or I'll like his personality and then it doesn't work that way. So anyway, there is a very pragmatic and effective approach of working strategically focused on the inside and all the right pieces, okay? Because it goes much deeper than these superficial things, okay? Conscious love, it really is about connection. It's about an intimate connection. And I want you to know, everyone, that soulmates are goal mates. It's all about life building skills, tools, vision, language, timeline. This is so important. So a matchmaker or your friends who are well-intentioned, again, don't really know you because you don't really know yourself, because you have blocks and barriers, and they don't have a strategy to understand and bring forth the right matches, then it's just slinging mud, throwing money against the wall without strategy. Okay. And you don't want to do that. Human connection is really all about heart resonance and empathy and dreaming together. Okay. It's really about many important things. So let me share with you the story of Anna. Anna swore off dating for 30 years, long time. But when she decided, okay, maybe I'll try and find someone, she was in a community. She went dancing and networking. She paid a matchmaker. Okay. And well-intentioned people wanted to help, but it was kind of not working. And she was starting to feel like there are no good men, or men in my age category are all, decrepit and not active. And maybe I don't live in the right place. Maybe I should bag it. So she decided not to take that approach. And she said, there has to be a new way. And she's a strategic thinker. Okay. We came together she found a new way. She started to understand how she and her understanding of men was repelling love. Okay. And when you are in this unconscious, blocked space, you won't see good people. You won't even recognize them. You'll just be attracting people that are a mirror to your own blocks again. But through our work together in 90 days, through a clear path to healthy love, she found Mark. She found her guy in the most one of like an unlikely way at the gym. Because otherwise, she would have just gone to the gym, been closed off, not spoken to people, but she did. And someone kind of was like the conduit who said, "Oh, you need to talk to Mark. You need to talk to Mark." And sure enough, divine providence kicked in, and she is living her dream. What's a dream? Sharing time, sharing family, holidays, connection, travel, building a home, decorating, cooking together. That's what makes all of this beautiful, is that we had to look at religious values. We had to look at uh, uh, relationships with family, how we practice our religion or spiritual values. So now she's living a dream. And guess what? She didn't have to outsource, because the people that were well intentioned and wanted to help her didn't know how to help. So, like Anna, instead of outsourcing, here's the solution. We can clear the inner space. We can get you into a space of receiving. You can become an empowered dater. An empowered dater is wild. It's wild. We remove the barriers, the subconscious blocks that prevent you from actually trusting or knowing or recognizing good love. Okay? Because the truth is, these barriers are literally like repellents, right? Attraction principles speak to alignment and congruence. So we need to be aligned and congruent. An empowered dater is clear, excited, understands his or her needs, has a very clear vision and language to be able to express it beyond, oh no, I know what I want. I just want someone who is tall and nice and successful. Am I asking for too much? And the answer is no, you're not asking for enough of the right things. An empowered dater also has a plan, strategy. How do I bring in only the right people? And they're in action about it. In action in a way that is very light and joyful, bringing in with invitations the right people. Okay. An empowered dater, again, really has a plan, a strategy, energy. It's like in business. In business, you need mastery, right? You need mastery. Say you're a realtor and you want to get listings. They're not going to come because you're a good person, right? You're going to get the listings because you are finding expired listings, you are networking, you are doing the things that people do to get listings, not just by wishing and hoping. Okay. So it's really about foundational understanding of success. Okay. And the truth is, there could be two kinds of realtors and two kinds of daters. There are realtors who say, oh, there's no listings, no one's buying. And then there's a realtor who is really digging in there and exploiting and finding opportunities everywhere, which is a mindset in and of itself. You see that? Dating is the same way. There are daters who say, ew, men are awful. I can't find what I want. It's online is awful. Dating is terrible. And then what do they get? Can you relate to this? They get nothing. They get the wrong people, and they're kind of justifying and creating their beliefs. versus a person who's like, my soulmate exists. I'm really excited to find this person. I know I don't know exactly how to find this person, but I'm going to find this person. Why? Because I'm going to take a totally different approach. Okay. So, does that make sense to you that it's heart set, it's mindset, and it's skill set? That's what creates success. That's why the law of attraction isn't just like, oh, I'm going to, make a dream board, a vision board, and I'll just meet the right people. It doesn't work that way. It's got to be in full alignment from end to end. Okay. Because the truth really, again, is successful people have an open, curious, iterative mindset, like I shared last week. So successful people are willing to try things and iterate, right? We call that failure, right? So successful people fail more than unsuccessful people even try. So I want to ask you, who are you going to be? Are you going to be someone curious, someone ready for strategy, someone ready to open up? Or are you going to just give up and blame? So I want to give you a mindset shift today that your soulmate is waiting for you. And that I know my life will be that much better, that much more wonderful with a soulmate to share it with. My life will be richer. And what happens here is that when you meet the right person, it's like childbirth, you forget. And it's like, oh my gosh, you were so worth waiting for. And that's what all of my empowered daters say over the past 15 years. And it's not just in the beginning, because we have a process for dating, and I'm going to share more about that next week, some of the specifics. You get to be empowered. You get to be empowered and happy and in creation. Who wants that? If you want that, I'd love to know. I'd love to know. And then I'd love for us to jump on a strategy call and design it out and look at it, right? And look at removing barriers, what that looks like. It's really exciting. So if you're excited about this, we have a plan, and our plan is empowered and it works. So I'm going to drop the link for you to book a 15-minute call and learn how you can apply these principles into your life. Okay. So the third piece of this is people think that they need to outsource, that there's outsourcing to a matchmaker because there's this magical reserve of better quality people. How many of you have said, oh, I don't meet quality people? Oh, online dating doesn't have quality people. And that could not be further from the truth. It's almost like you wish and hope that, if I date on Raya, or I get a matchmaker, or I meet more people with money, they're higher quality. That's not true. And it's not true that dating sites attract low quality people. You have to know how to use a dating site. You need skills. A dating site is nothing but an app. A dating site, they're nothing but repositories of people. And the way I look at it, if I was on it, there had to be other amazing, wonderful people on it. Okay. And what makes someone high quality? That they have money, that they're better educated? No. What makes a high quality person is that they're loving and they're good and they share your vision and they see you and they're emotionally available to you and vice versa. Because the big surprise is you guys, when we're in this paradigm of being stuck, we're the ones that are not emotionally available. Okay. So it's not about better schools. How many Ivy Leaguers or wealthy people are not emotionally available? So it's more about what are we attracting? So I want you to know that you could have it the way you want it. You can be so aligned. You could bring in just the kind of people that you want, because it's all about raising your energy, your vibration, your understanding of receiving, and you're taking right actions. Okay. Just yesterday, a client said to me, oh my God, after just 4 weeks, she said, oh my God, People are asking me if I went on vacation or if I got a new hairstyle. I'm getting complimented. People are gravitating to me. Why? When we get in alignment and resolve things from end to end, everything completely and totally changes. It's magical. It feels magical, but it's magical because you are actually doing the work. So I'm going to turn on a light because I realize I'm sitting in the dark. I want you to think for a moment what this would mean to you. What is your dream? Are you ready for strategy? And what have you ever outsourced? And think to yourself how this might apply to you. I am back. You see, the thing about life is that we don't have to be perfect. I didn't have my plug next to me. I had a few technical problems, but you know what? It doesn't matter. What matters is who you're being. What matters is how you relate to yourself and how you relate to the journey. So I want you to know that you can feel empowered. And I share this with you because over the past 15 years, we have been creating amazing results for people. Okay. And I do not want my battery to die. So if you, again, over 15 years, we've been creating conscious, healthy relationships for people. And when we check back with them years later, because we stay in touch, it's the same person that they married that they're so incredibly happy with, that they have grown, that they've expanded. Why? Because in empowered dating, you're having meaningful conversations. You learn how to have it. We have something called a share and ask method. But it only works if you're sharing and asking because you've cleared the barriers and you're inviting in the right people. Because you could share and ask with emotionally unavailable people all day long and it still won't work out. And I want you to know many have tried other things. So what? Many invested with matchmakers. So what? Many asked friends to help who didn't. But after this transformation, guess what? We teach friends how to help us find love, and we re-enroll them that we're not the same blocked and stuck person that we were. And they love us. You know, your friends love you and they want to help. But just like I enrolled my community that I was going to date emotionally unavailable people, we all do it. Okay. So it doesn't matter when the student is ready, the right teacher shows up. And we have to look at ROI. What is the ROI of investing in something that is strategic, that is aligned, that is proven, that is empowered from within so that we could create and change like everything in our lives? Because the side benefits are pretty cool. Being happier, uh, being more abundant, having more time freedom, bringing things to you, attracting things to you that you really want. So if you've been with misaligned partners, let's call them that, and you would be excited about strategy, and you want someone who is going to be aligned with you for life, and love your children, want animals, to share adventure, to meet your emotional needs, to be growing with you. If that's something that you want and you're ready to shift things, then how about we jump on a 15-minute clarity call, right? Get into clarity. And we'll look at your goals and your dreams and look at what's working and what's not working. And we'll customize the plan that works for you. Okay. I am here. We are here to help you. And that is why I train so passionately. And I speak about getting into alignment that you really can have the love, the healthy love that you want. You exist and your soulmate exists. It's just true. Okay. So if that's something that you want, go to meettomary.com/clarity session. And don't wait. It's almost 2025. Time is flying. If you're Jewish, that we just had our new year. If you're not, whatever your religion, it's almost the holidays, Christmas is coming, and you could really be planning your life right now with a partner. Okay. It's the willingness to be curious as a high achiever. So I am so excited. We do this every Wednesday. It's going to be every Wednesday, 6 p.m. This is one of the big mistakes that high achievers make. And there are four other big ones. And so I have a special new guide that we will be sharing with you starting in the next couple of days that talks about this and more. Okay. Because you don't need to be making mistakes. Why should you make mistakes? It's about iterating, right? Being iterative. And we figured it out. And we can apply it all to you and your love life. So I'm really excited. Thank you for your time. Sorry about the tech, but it's really about imperfect actions, just being you. Okay, so I will see you next week at the same time. Thanks, everyone. See you soon. Have a great evening.